You're in the sphere, Petey? Are you blind or just like the farmer? So you're saying that the north and south celestial poles are acquired from hell, Petey? I'm thinking no! Reification of a globe Earth that you're not standing in. This is not a horizon, Pete! Yeah, well, you dropped on your head, mate. Go outside and seek out a horizon. This is not what it looks like, you stupid clown. You're all idiots. Do you think the horizon is a freaking hula hoop, son? Do you look like this? I'm gonna go with no. But Pete here was dropped on his head by his mother. Say something, you're so boring! Pete, in his nonsensical idiot buffoonery, having been dropped on his head, thinks that this will match anything that Flatsoid shows.
Well, that was flat earther Nathan Oakley. Yep. If you think that was bad, be glad that's all you saw. Anyways, PD1944 uploaded this video debunking Brian's logic, who is a flat earther. And obviously it appears Nathan Oakley wasn't too happy with that video. He tried debunking it in this stream of his. For anyone that doesn't know, Nathan Oakley runs this flat earth debate series that literally isn't a debate. All that happens is they try and fail to debunk videos, yell at videos, insult people who join the stream to try and actually debate him, and so on. There have been over 2,000 of these debates, and not a single one of them have provided one piece of evidence for flat earth. Anyways, again, Nathan Oakley wasn't too happy over this video. I'll just debunk his response to it. By the way, the AI voice keeps mispronouncing the number in PD194, so I am sorry if that happens.
Anyway, we have actually got a video to cover today. So I don't know if Chocolate will sort out his affair with Teams, but this is PT194. I don't know who this guy is. I vaguely remember the name from some time back in the 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Might be on our side. You remember these names and you're like, yeah, Pete, good guy. But is it because he's a bad guy that I remember his name? Right, Petey, I've put his name in the live stream chat, so go and check him out. Give him a nod, let him know, at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment that doesn't immediately get removed. Whatever it is, 957 subs. Appreciate getting shoved over 1,000. If a few of you want to subscribe to this guy, good, bad, or indifferent.
So why is he wrong? Well, because we know where the sun is overhead at any given moment, he is essentially assigning that spot with non-coordinates. So what's...
Right, non-coordinates. The coordinates are going to be on a Cartesian system with respect to the GP of the sun in the first instance, though, isn't it, PT?
We use spherical math to find out how far the sun's GP is, Nathan. I think Flatsoid's graph will demonstrate that quite well for you.
So when you're describing the sun and its positional data, you're going to need a flat Earth to measure it. Like described on screen with this right angle designation below the point that the sun's being measured at with an angle that facilitates Earth being flat. So your coordinate system's going to require a flat Earth.
And you're only 38 seconds into his video, and you've already completely missed the point. The sun's GP should not be 90 degrees with that reference plane. Brian assumed it is, and that's where he's wrong. In actuality, Earth is a globe. The sun will be 90 degrees overhead somewhere, but not on that same reference plane, since Earth is curved, unless the observer is at the sun's GP.
stopping him from drawing in a map? Not explicitly shown here is the celestial sphere, which has an infinite radius, and it effectively reduces the...
Whoa. Aren't you a boltard, Petey, there? Infinite radius? These mathematical concepts like infinite aren't something that can exist in physical reality. Meanwhile, you're a boltard. You got set distances derived from flat Earth measurements off the stars in the first instance. What are you talking about? Celestial sphere with its infinite radial values. You can't have that, mate. No, they're just parallel ground and sky that are being measured like with angles. So if the sun was further over here, it would present a lower angle. It doesn't mean that the sun's going to smash into the ground when it reaches the horizon. It just means you need a flat Earth to measure it.
First of all, the celestial sphere mathematically can be treated as infinite because the stars are so far away to the point that assuming an infinite radius simplifies the calculations. Secondly, no, there are no flat Earth measurements of the stars. As I've explained many times in the past, the star's angle of elevation drop at a linear rate of 1 degree every 60 nautical miles. On a flat Earth, the rate at which they drop would not be linear, so that alone debunks flat Earth. And third, you said the sun will never, quote, smash into the ground when it reaches the horizon? Then why have you showed this animation in the past of the sun doing exactly that? This is impossible on a flat Earth. And again, this shows the Earth is a globe, because the Earth is physically obstructing the sun.
the observer in the centre to a point. Therefore, there is no place on the reference plane that holds any meaning. You can't move about on it.
Reference plane? What, like the one you've been measuring when you measure the sun's position on the ground for its ground position? Yeah, you'll need a flat earth for all of this, Petey. Why are you suggesting that Brian's somehow suggesting this proves a flat earth when it's a prerequisite? It won't be anything other than a flat earth to get this angle. It's called an altitude angle, as quite accurately described on this diagram you seem to have on screen for your rebuttal. This isn't a rebuttal.
No, you won't need a flat earth for that. You'll need the opposite, because again, it's globe math. And yes, it's called an altitude angle, so what?
And you certainly can't map it.
We have mapped it, we do map it, maps are flat. They use coordinate systems that are flat and flat earth measurements to the stars and their positions above the ground that are also flat earth angles. So yeah, we definitely have maps there, Petey. Are you insane?
Really? Show us your flat earth map then. All flat maps are distorted. The globe, though, isn't. Just ask Flatzoid.
So, in an effort to understand it a little better myself...
Understand what? The maps that we don't have?
I've had a go at constructing the geometry used in this coordinate system.
On a flat plane inside a sphere? Well, that's a complete fail, because your ball won't facilitate you being in hell now, will it? So if you're going to compare this to a globe that's been derived after the fact from flat earth measurements that work in hell, you're going to struggle to convince me that you're in a ball, Petey! Meanwhile, the measurements are made of the sun with respect to its angle that's going to be converted inside this spherical depiction. It's still just flat earth elevation angle measurements of stars, though, Petey, regardless of how the maths pads out with you in hell. For your ball faith to work.
Once again, completely misunderstanding what he's saying. That sphere is not representing Earth. The plane in the middle is the observer's local reference plane. The rest is the celestial sphere, like he was talking about earlier. So no one's in hell, except your microphone. But keep going.
And you'll notice that I've split the sky up into two halves.
Have you really, Petey? Really? Well, you just measured it with a flat earth angle on screen previously.
One hemisphere is visible, and the other cannot be seen.
Oh, really? It just looks like you've got a screen with a circle and two other circles depicting your position inside hell, if you're going to suggest this is you in any way referencing a globe Earth.
This point on the observer's meridian represents their zenith, and then...
Really? Not in a ball, it won't. You can't be in a ball getting your zeniths, meridians, elevation angles, reference planes. You're not in a ball.
And there's this orange line, which all objects on the sphere appear to rotate about.
On the sphere? You're in a sphere. You complete...
Are you blind? Are you blind?
Do you not notice that you're not on the sphere? You're in the sphere, Petey? Are you blind or just like the farmer? Not on anything, dickhead.
And by the way, before you yell at me for saying reference plane earlier and saying that planes are flat, the key word is reference. It is not representing the entire Earth. It is your local reference plane, and it is always changing.
Out. Where this line intersects the sphere, we'll find the north and south celestial poles.
Will we? So you're saying that the north and south celestial poles are acquired from hell, Petey? I'm thinking no!
And these angles in red correspond to the observer's latitude from a globe Earth.
No. From a globe Earth inside hell? No, definitely not, Pete. They're elevation angles. They're measurements off a flat surface. So they'll definitely require a flat Earth to measure, and this depiction of a reference plane inside a ball isn't capable of measurement in any way, shape, or form for your reification of a globe Earth that you're not standing in.
You're right. They're not standing in Earth. You just completely misunderstood the diagram.
With the horizon as a reference.
Sorry, do you think that this is a horizon? Sorry, hands up. Who sees a horizon as a hoop? This is not a horizon, Pete! Yeah, well, you dropped on your head, mate.
You don't even know what part of the diagram he's talking about. What do you mean, hoop?
Go outside and seek out a horizon. This is not what it looks like, you stupid clown. You think a horizon's a hoop around you? From inside a ball, representative of a globe Earth in hell. You're an idiot. You're all idiots inside your stupid ball with a horizon hoop.
Oh, scary. Oh, shiver my timbers. Shut up.
What kind of a moron are you? Do you think the horizon is a freaking hula hoop, son?
No.
The observer can describe the sun's position with...
Can we? No, we measure it, Pete. We don't describe Jack when we measure an elevation angle, the one that Brian adequately had described on screen earlier. We measure the elevation angles of these things, Pete. Yeah?
And those angles describe reality.
Altitude and azimuth coordinates.
No, we can measure those.
And I think this is a pretty cool way of visualizing them.
No, don't need to. We can just measure.
And on any given day, the sun will follow a path based on its declination value, which for simplicity, I have it fixed for the whole day.
Really? Did you measure it from inside hell, per se? Or were you measuring on this reference plane with the angles with respect to the plane that you are measuring for one side of the angle? I'm pretty sure it's the latter there, Pete. You're gonna need a flat Earth and you are definitely describing one.
You literally debunked yourself. It is a reference plane, not the actual Earth. As for you thinking we can't take angles from a curved surface, we can just use a tangent line. But maybe you should watch PD194's video on calculating an angle from a curve.
It is worth noting that the sun's declination will in fact be constantly changing as the
You need a flat Earth for all of this.
Earth moves in its orbit.
Yeah, you'll need a flat Earth to describe all of it. All orbits are also described from the centre point of the ball. That is to say, orbits are described from hell also. They're also derived from elevation angle measurements of the stars with respect to a flat plane. Copernicus converting them to positional data that moves through hell won't help you, Pete.
Oh, so that would be like this diagram that appears every once in a while on your stream? Well, you see, that's funny because the reason you're trying to say this proves that orbits are based on a flat Earth is that the guy here is standing on a flat plane. Now, I found the original image on the internet, and there was no guy standing there. So you guys drew the guy there. In other words, your words, you drew him in hell. Whatever, I'm sure that's not dishonest. Anyways, go ahead then and explain how ascending node, descending node, this satellite here, and the North Pole, which you conveniently didn't show in your version, will work on this flat Earth orbit here. Also explain why the orbit is going under your flat Earth, or in your words, into hell. Does NASA have a secret facility down in hell? By the way, the Bible doesn't say Earth is flat, so don't try implying that. So if this is a globe here, you guys drew the guy in hell. If this is a flat Earth, the orbit is going into hell. Pick a side. Orbits cannot work on a flat Earth, and they do not debunk the globe, and they do not prove flat Earth.
You're not in hell. What part of this don't you understand?
You serious?
Dead serious.
So the sun's path would be more of a tightly wound spiral than a...
No, definitely not. I don't see the tightly wound spiral of the sun when it moves from one side of my vision to the other. That's not a spiral, Pete. Again, were you dropped on your friggin' head? Are you looking at the sun going in spirals?
So of course the issue here is that you don't understand what he just said. You would need multiple days or even months to properly notice the spiral. Here's a 3-year time lapse. Definitely enough time. It is a series of images taken at the same time each day to show the sun's positions in the sky. Take a look. Yes, the time changed here by an hour because of the clock change that occurs every 6 months. So that points to either the camera was dropped on its head or the sun indeed moves in a spiral. Obviously, if you saw the sun each day moving in its path here, with it being in a different position at the same selected time each day, the sun is moving in a spiral. So if you disagree with that, then you disagree with reality.
Are you nuts? Like literally were you dropped on your head? Are you seeing spiralling suns because you've recently had a concussion? What the unholy hell are you babbling about, you stupid, insane, ball-tarred clown? The sun isn't doing loop-de-loops and spirals. It certainly isn't a frickin' hula hoop around me.
a circle. These points mark where the centre of the sun will be for sunrise and sunset.
Off a flat Earth, you're describing it with respect to the angles of a plane that then has an imaginary sphere wrapped around it. You're not in hell on a ball is definitely not what you suggested you are. Complete tripe.
No, these angles are based off a globe. You can measure angles on a globe. You just don't understand how it works. Again, explain 60 nautical miles per degree.
And there's a number of ways I can position these, but I've opted to go one math route, and I figured out their Cartesian coordinates.
So you'll need a flat Earth for them? Flat Earth coordinate system much? Yeah, you'll need a flat Earth for all of this.
A little bit of trig.
Trig what, with respect to the plane of reference? Yeah, you'll need a flat Earth for it.
No, again, you don't. Is your only way of debunking his video just constantly yelling flat Earth angles? Even Flatzoid can do better than this. Although he would be dead wrong, he usually actually tries to tackle the specific point of what they said. You're just saying angles, therefore flat Earth, which is meaningless and makes no sense.
I'll take you through these formulas later in the video.
Why? You'll need a flat Earth to measure to get the angles.
When looking at lowercase a, the observer's latitude is the Greek letter phi, and
Yeah, that's a flat Earth elevation angle to Polaris.
delta is the declination of the sun.
A flat Earth declination of the angle with respect to the horizon. A flat Earth elevation angle much?
Big talk. You done?
Don't use that stuff, Pete. This is absolutely infuriating. You globers, I've had enough of you. You're all idiots. Stop using our flat Earth stuff. It's starting to piss me off royally.
Well, I know the truth is very unfortunate, but that doesn't change the fact that Earth is a globe. Sorry.
Just go on camera, just so we all know what's going on here. A few people have the misapprehension that I'm actually annoyed. I'm not. I'll get over this as soon as the show's over. I'll give a toss. But you, like Petey and all the rest of you clowns on the globe Earth side of this discussion, this is greatly troubling for you, isn't it? As you use your flat Earth elevation angles in hell, and have me, a flat Earther, yelling at you and calling you and suggesting you've been dumbed down by being dropped by your parents.
Right, so nothing is actually annoying you, sure. Maybe refer to my small compilation at the beginning.
That's right. To all the people out there that are under the misapprehension that there has actually been an exodus, no, you'll still be measuring Earth flat. Yeah, and I'll still be here pointing it out to you. Make no mistake about it. Absolutely lovely.
Yes, there has been an exodus of flat earthers, especially after the final experiment. For example, the former flat earther, Jeranism, has a whole series right now interviewing ex-flat earthers. So far, there's 7 episodes.
Sorry, let's just snap back into character. Pete, you don't use our flat Earth measurements.
That's what being in character is for you? Great.
How's that? Is that back in character enough?
But there's also this value alpha, which is controlled from this slider, and it's currently set to 50 arc minutes.
That sounds like an arc minute, what, as in a flat Earth measurement also, Pete. Oh my, is there anything that you do use that isn't flat Earth directly related?
If I move this to 0, then the moment of sunrise has already come and gone, because that will place the centre of the sun on the horizon. So we might then think about lowering it by the semi-diameter value of 16 arc minutes.
What, measurements with respect to a flat plane of reference much?
Again, keyword, reference.
With respect to a straight line to the horizon much? With respect to this horizontal plane on screen much? Mike, you are not in hell, Pete. Hello. Yes, Copernicus duped you into thinking that you're in hell for your orbital motion. Oh, it's really sweet. These idiots, how sweet are they? They just don't understand, do they? They don't understand that the Copernican motion of orbits isn't with respect to their position because they're not in hell. Oh, well, we used to be where you were, Pete, ignorant and stupid, thinking we're on a ball. But then we found out that the measurements are all described with a flat plane underneath every one of them. And then they're reified into measurements. Nah, these are calculations in hell, inside a ball on a flat plane.
My goodness, again, that sphere there is the celestial sphere. The plane is the reference plane. It is not a flat Earth at all.
That you keep describing with arc minutes measurements.
And this would then make sunrise the moment when the sun's upper limb first makes an appearance. But whether rising or setting, refraction at the horizon will cause the sun to appear more elevated than it actually is, by about 34 arc minutes.
34 flat Earth measurements.
So we can also take that into account.
What, the flat Earth elevation angle with respect to the horizon as it moves up and down with respect to it? The rise and fall of the sun with respect to a flat plane of reference? Yeah, we could, Pete. I mean, you're just proving flat Earth over and over again. It's quite irritating given that you've opened this video suggesting that Brian was just, what, joking about a flat Earth that you keep using? In his suggestion that it's a flat Earth? No, you keep using it.
Again, they're not flat plane measurements. And you said we could be? So you admit refraction can cause things to appear higher? Great. So no black swan then.
This then makes the zenith distance 90 degrees 50 arc minutes for the points of sunrise and sunset. And this is the same as 90 degrees 50 arc minutes.
I mean, if you extract my disdain and over-the-top reaction to this, it's incredibly boring. You, Pete, are boring. You're boring the off me, frankly.
I understand math might be boring for you guys, but that doesn't mean Earth is flat.
We can also get a very accurate day length from this geometry.
Can you? This is about as exciting as a dead rat.
By measuring the central angle between sunrise and solar noon.
Oh, really? Oh, bloody
Dividing
boring.
this angle by 15 degrees will give us half the total number of hours for the day, which we can then double for the complete day length.
This is boring. You're boring the off me. This is boring.
Or we can go the math route again.
Can we? How unbelievably excited I am to hear it.
Yeah, boy.
In this example, we have a sun declination for London of 23.44 degrees, which means we're looking at the June solstice. We're showing 16 hours, 38 minutes and 18 seconds.
With respect to a flat Earth, I mean, there's only so many ways I can get excited and put on display for this utter numpty and boring crap video about how he measures Earth flat repeatedly.
The answer is no.
I mean, anybody else got anything to add? Because I'm running out of steam, and he's just so tediously boring and monotone, isn't he? Come on, tell me it's not me imagining his boring diagrams.
You're doing very well, considering the circumstances.
I'm injecting life into this boring crap, aren't I? I mean, I'm giving it everything I've got here. Well, he moans and monotones his way through this diagram and his descriptions of flat Earth being measured constantly. I mean, come on, you've got to zhuzh it up a bit. What?
Which is only 4 seconds different to what Time and Day has on their website.
Only 4 seconds difference? Oh my god.
All the other results seem to check out too. Just left of the table there is this plus or minus button, and clicking it will change the sign of these latitude and declination values, essentially reflecting the sun and the observer about the Earth's equator.
This reminds me of when I was about 16, and I went and did a data entry job.
Yeah, I'll just skip past him ranting on for another 30 seconds about how boring this is.
You'll notice a certain symmetry here, and
I didn't notice nothing. I just noted how boring you were.
that only comes from the Earth being a globe.
Well,
Does it? It comes from it being a globe, does it? When you've just detailed a whole bunch of flat Earth measurements? I'm thinking no.
Name one flat Earth measurement that he detailed.
Go ahead.
This video is for Globers who are struggling to sleep at night. Bear that in mind.
Oh, right. Does this get him to sleep as they hear the soothing tones of somebody describing measuring a flat Earth, only to occasionally drop in, this is because Earth's a globe, you know? Does that send them to sleep? It's not because you're measuring a globe.
certainly helps.
What this flat plane does is completely take a giant steaming dump on any pain relief that you might have offered to people who had listened to you prior to me coming along, calling you boring and pointing out how flat Earth must be for you to design any of these software-based flat Earth using prerequisites that you've been describing up until now.
Yeah, other way around, this Flat Earth debate series is for flat earthers who want to sleep at night. And again, you guys thinking math is boring doesn't debunk him, and he hasn't used any flat Earth measurements.
The sun's path doesn't appear to have changed at all, but everything else seems to be mirrored. So before I go through what I did to obtain each of the formulas used in this project, let's take a look at a few different cities.
Just out of curiosity, is there any concept of motion, shape, or just anything that exists in the physical world that isn't with respect to the plane of reference?
No. All of it always references a flat Earth. Oh, we had a new one.
Not according to the farmer.
You take it away, Neil. Right, we had a new example. I don't know if you heard earlier. Were you here earlier when the farmer was here?
Again, the key word, reference. No measurements that he's used have been flat Earth based. And for context, the farmer is someone who joined earlier to talk with them, but just got yelled at and insulted as usual.
Nope. Sure he did, though.
I never thought about it. But yeah, farming proves Earth's measured flat. Everything proves Earth's measured flat. Is there anything not with respect to a plane? No.
Other way around, everything debunks a flat Earth and proves Earth is a sphere.
In December 2024, where the Flat Earth contingent of the final experiment were making southern skyline observations. The YouTuber Jeronism watched the sun set south of west, light up the sky to the...
Wait, sorry, south of west?
Yes, south of west. Explain how that's possible on a flat Earth when the sun is always supposed to be north of them. It works on a globe, and he is about to show that.
PT. You're using descriptions that require Earth be a flat plane of reference, right? North, south, east, and west. Only function on a plane.
Wrong again. They function perfectly fine on a globe. You don't understand planes of reference.
These aren't global spherical directions, you utter buffoon.
south, and then rise a short while after south of east, all while the lit portion of the skyline was moving right to left. This was when it dawned on him, and I'm not just talking about the sun. He realised he was watching the sun out in space.
So why are we now on top of a ball? Yeah? You're describing your position from a Copernican bastardization where you take what was measured and described previously from within a ball. You think this sleight of hand is clever, you stupid idiot? Do you think I wouldn't notice that we're suddenly on top of the spherical ball that you've reified into existence based on your PZX positioning?
Or he was never inside the spherical Earth to begin with, and you just misunderstood his diagram. Also, you said top of the ball, but that's the South Pole there. Don't you guys always say that's the bottom of the ball? Anyways, there's no such thing as the top or bottom of Earth anyways. Down is toward the center of the Earth.
No, Pete. No, you were in a ball tracking the angles. Now it seems that you've substituted your position for the sun's position on the hemispherical depiction measured from a plane you previously used here.
First off, What do you mean substituted his position for the sun's position? That makes no sense, and he didn't do that. Secondly, again, he was never inside a sphere to begin with, and he's not using any flat Earth measurements.
Yeah, this wasn't a very good sleight of hand, Pete. You wouldn't make a good magician. It was not subtle.
There was nothing to be subtle with.
Space lighting up half the planet as the Earth was turning. The sun here is in the direction of the dark blue arrows. After the sun sets south of west, it's easy to see.
South of west, what? Astro describes only on a flat plane.
Again, no. Directions do not mean Earth is flat.
Why they witnessed a lit skyline in the south.
On a flat Earth? That's a direction with respect to a plane, moron.
As the lit portion of the sky wasn't actually that far away from their look.
But does this actually work on the Baltards, as they see this graphical description that's like a basic bait and switch that's really unsubtle? Do they hear his words describing flat Earth directions and go, oh, but look, there's a ball I'm on in this graphic, so therefore everything's cushy?
Yes, this works on a sphere. He is literally showing it right now. And secondly, again, there are no flat Earth measurements that he's using.
Location. The brighter part of the skyline travelling right to left until the sun rose again, south of east, precisely as the globe model expected. Preset 27 is for Punta Arenas, and I've used some calc to look up the declination value for solar noon for the 12th. And this is the result. As you can see, the sun is travelling right to left as you face it, which...
No, mate, this looks nothing like the world I inhabit, yeah? You're nuts. This is a Copernican bastardization, now back within the ball that you were previously describing Jaren on.
Again, he is not inside the Earth. That isn't what his graphic is depicting.
Okay. Yeah, but meanwhile, you did actually have a visual representation that had a horizon in it. Did it look like a hoop? Did this look like this hoop here? No, PT. Hello. Measuring a parallel sky with a parallel plane in the angles that it depicts, to then reposition them mathematically as an arc above your position.
Are you trying to say that what he's depicted as the sun's path is the horizon? No. The horizon is this edge here. The horizon is 360 degrees all around you. What's your point?
Doesn't mean that we stand within a ball that we're back in. Yeah, we were on it a second ago for a brief time, after looking what a real horizon looks like from Jaren's perspective. Perspective that this doesn't include, I might add. Just elevation angle measurements to a parallel plane and sky. The only way these angles can be measured.
Again, they're not flat Earth measurements, and this does include perspective. That's literally what this sphere is, pretty much. And again, we're not inside the Earth in this graphic.
For later depiction within a ball.
Which for some of us northerners is a bit strange, but...
Northerners is...
What?
absolutely normal for those who live far enough south.
These are flat Earth directions, you stupid numpty.
No, they're not flat Earth directions.
From this view, you can imagine the TFE participant standing on the coastline looking south.
And we had a picture of what he looked like, right? You showed us. Jaren showed you a video, right? Did he look like this? Let's just compare, right? Let's get a little timestamp. I think I can just about do the thumbnail if I make it big enough, right? Let's just get it big. Okay, so here's what apparently we're picturing it looking like. Okay, right, this kind of looks like a little symbol of some description. That's what it looks like to me. Let's see if it matches what Jaren saw. I'm going to go with no. Definite.
What do you mean no? You aren't even looking at what Jaren is seeing. You just have a small image of it here. How does the sun's path in this graphic not match Jaren's observation? Show us, please. Just because he didn't literally insert the texture or buildings of Jaren's surroundings onto this model doesn't mean it's wrong.
But Pete here was dropped on his head by his mother. So in his mind, these two match, right?
How do they not match?
And it makes perfect sense.
No, it doesn't. I made you look like a clown just by putting out what Jaren actually videoed.
Compare.
Say something, you're so boring!
How about you actually watch what he's doing? Also, how about you actually debunk him? I mean, this guy was flooding PD 1940s comments saying that you debunked him, so I was looking forward to a debunk.
With time and date, well, we're only 12 seconds out either side of solar noon in a day that lasted nearly 17 hours, so I'm going to take that. The other values are a match too.
Really good.
Go ahead.
That is awesome. The predictive power of measurements from a flat plane can get the time and date of the sun and where its projected position will be at a certain time. It's amazing what you can do when you measure a flat plane. He's right.
That's a reference plane, not the Earth. This is globe math, and that is why it's correct.
Say something, you're so boring!
Those of us who followed the final experiment saw the sun circle the camp going right to left and never setting, not going higher than 34 degrees in the north.
Therefore, what now? What angle with respect to a horizontal plane of reference, Pete?
Again, you can get angles from a sphere. The key word in what you just said was reference.
Yeah, we pointed it out to the TFE participants, and they just told you and others like you that are numpties who have dropped on their head that there was a flat Earth exodus. What, for the elevation angle off a flat Earth to prove that it ain't flat? No, definitely not, Pete. You're proving flat Earth, though. Well done.
Well, there was a flat Earth exodus, and again, you can get angles from a globe.
Or lower than 13 degrees to the...
Degrees off a flat Earth. 13 degrees, that's an elevation angle, Pete. It's a flat Earth prerequisite. Let me put mine on screen. There you go. It's a bit like yours, isn't it? It's like we've got this angle from our position where we stand on a flat plane, up, yeah, with respect to the sky, and along the ground that must be flat. Yeah, it's called an elevation angle, Pete.
That is not an elevation angle. That is an angle from the center of the globe between 2 points. I don't know why you have that on screen. Unlike what he is showing, this does represent a globe. And this graphic is also debunking you because, as you can see, there is a reference plane here, and the surface is not flat. Well done.
Yeah, mine looks a bit like yours, eh? It's just I'm not pretending I stand inside a ball to later pretend I stand here. Like you did, yeah? You see, I've got both of them plotted on mine at the same time. Yeah, it's like it makes the bait and switch you did earlier really obvious, isn't it, Pete? Like what, we measure it with respect to this plane here, but then we pretend that this square plane here that ends the curved surface is actually what we measured. Yeah.
Again, he was never standing inside the globe.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good, it was very unsubtle when you did it, Pete. It's even less subtle with my diagrams depicting it on screen, eh? Me being the flat earther, revealing your bait and switch that was offering pain relief to some of your compadres.
No, again, that is just an angle from the center of Earth between 2 points. And this reference plane is debunking you. Keep going.
south. And for the last one, I have to head over to Margate, South Africa, where Flatsoid made some Christmas morning sunrise observations. And basically...
Right, why do you keep showing us this? This is not what Flatsoid will have shown. This will not have any bearing or comparison to what he shows. I absolutely guarantee that Pete, in his nonsensical idiot buffoonery, having been dropped on his head, thinks that this will match anything that Flatsoid shows. It won't.
This is just a model to show how Flatsoid observed the sun from his position. So again, you're wrong.
Basically, this is the path he saw the sun take.
Really? Let's see what he shows.
Every moment, the sun's altitude and azimuth are predicted.
No, altitude and azimuth are the respect to a flat plane measurements that, Pete, you're using. Yeah, you keep using flat Earth measurements, mate. Yeah, you're very boring. You keep measuring a flat Earth.
No, again, you can get altitude angles, azimuth angles, and literally any other angle from a globe. You don't understand reference planes.
Just by using his latitude on a sphere.
Latitude on a sphere? That's an oxymoron. Latitude's a measurement to Polaris with respect to a flat plane. It's not on a sphere, you idiot! Didn't ask that question, but we'll have to ask it now. Housekeeping right at the end of the show, which is a bit weird. Any evidence you can acquire an elevation angle measurement to Polaris? From a curved baseline? Like on a globe? Anybody? Anybody at all?
Latitude is a measurement to Polaris? Just what do you mean by that statement? Flatsoid is in the southern hemisphere. He can't see Polaris. So you're saying that Polaris is through the floor for him? How's that possible on a flat Earth? Anyways, in the northern hemisphere, yes, angles to Polaris match your latitude because Polaris is at 90 degrees latitude, so it is the reference point. And so then Polaris's angle drops 1 degree every 60 nautical miles you travel away from it. That is a linear function, and it wouldn't be linear on a flat Earth. Tell Sleeping Warrior about that, though. He won't like it. Also, it is not a curved baseline because we just use a reference plane or a tangent line. But even if you did use a curved line, yes, you can. It just requires calculus. PD194 did a video on this, going through the steps of how to measure an angle from a curve. It is quite good. You should go watch it.
Elevations from level. Level's flat.
No, level does not mean flat.
Yeah, Pete, you don't get latitudes from a ball. You're an idiot.
Yes, you absolutely can get latitude on a sphere.
Nathan, you don't understand. A farmer said he has to account for curvature while farming. That's it. Earth is curved. Face it.
Well, no, everything that Pete's been showing on screen is with respect to a flat plane, isn't it? Yeah, mentioned farmer about your flat Earth.
Yeah, John, retracted. He used acres and Nathan tried to hold him to it and he ran away.
You mentioned me. I mean, what do you want to talk about?
Your flat Earth measurement that you offered us.
You got to acknowledge acres, buddy.
Computers in the tractors have to account for curvature of the Earth to get straight tram lines. That's all it said.
So straight
tram lines. Yeah.
So the farmer comes back on to talk to Nathan live. Of course, he gets muted a lot. And at the end there, the farmer says, straight trail lines. So Nathan and his friend took him out of context and repeated straight a couple of times. By straight, he meant that the trail lines are not turning to another side. He didn't mean not curving. Anyway, since Nathan is being debunked live now, I will finish it here after I play a bit of their discussion so you can see what's happening. Nathan doesn't respond to any more of the video here. He just argues with the farmer.
Still talking, what I'm pointing out is the second interruption. Yeah, you've got the stream, yeah, we know, farm boy. You can see what's on screen. You see this angle, farm boy? It's a flat earth prerequisite. Do you see it? It's on screen.
It's not.
Oh, right, where's the curve in this angle?
So, I wasn't even watching. Let me look.
Well, then you're... So you just told me it wasn't a flat earth prerequisite, and now you're saying you weren't watching. I'm watching you, a complete farm boy, be demolished by me, Nathan Oakley, a flat earther. When I point out that you telling me I'm ranting at PT's video, and then pointing out that there's a flat earth prerequisite angle measurement in the video on screen now, the one that you said you'd got a link to at the beginning of the show. Yeah, that's a flat earth prerequisite. It's not me ranting at a PT video, it's me telling you and an audience that Earth is measured flat. It's demonstrably, factually demonstrated by my opponent, PT, with his example that is on screen for my audience to peruse, farm boy.
Nathan,
What say you?
You want to feel some power?
You want to stutter at me, boy? You want to stutter at me?
You're an ugly ball.
Ugly ball, it's not a rebuttal. That's a cowering of a ball believer who's given us a flat earth measurement of hectares and acres. That's what that is.
Give us your measurements of curve, buddy.
Yeah, he hasn't got any. He told us the computer says curve in his farm truck. Did computer say curve with a straight line for the tracks?
Oh, you're a bit angry.
You're stuttering, yeah, boy. You're stuttering, farm boy. Yeah, okay, you stutter.
You get the point. He keeps going with his debunked assertion that you can't get angles from a globe. And he gets mad after the farmer insults him. I don't like insults. In fact, I hate them. That's why I never use them. But it is quite hypocritical of Nathan to get mad at an insult toward him when he insults everyone else all the time. Either way, that's everything. Go watch the video from PD194 because they're great. Thanks.